Welcome to the You're Winning Podcast. I'm your host, FOSHO Martin. This is a podcast where we introduce you to positive people who are doing positive things on a positive platform. My special guest today, she's one of my homegirls in the business. I cannot do this podcast without her being on as one of my special guests. She's a comedian, she's an actress, she's a mom, she's a grandma. I'm running out of things to say who she is, but many may know her as Danise the comedian. So welcome, Danise, to the You're Winning Podcast. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate that.
I had to bring you on. I really prayed about who I need to be on the show, and just immediately, you was one of the major ones, your name came up. I called you. I said, hey sis, we done been through our issues, we done been through our problems, but I don't care. We here together, and I want you to be a part because I said, like I told you, I'm fascinated with consistency. People can say what they want to say, but you will always see Danise somewhere around T here. Is it T here?
Definitely, that's right. You got it right. Many people don't get it right.
It is T here.
You got it right.
And but I'm trying. Hold on. I'm trying to stay calm because I'm excited to have you here. I'm trying to stay calm. So anyway, Danise, I know you as a comedian.
Right.
I know your family.
Right.
But tell the people, who is Danise? Because we're gonna cover a lot.
You know, brother, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm trying to find her. I think I lost her, wrapped up in other things and consumed with other things, other people, and sometimes even the wrong thing. You know, it took me a long time to turn this corner. You know, and let God do it without me getting in the way. You know, kind of removing my own way. But I know that, you know, such as we talked about, I want to be able to help others. I want to do for people things that people didn't do for me, you know, because people feel like if you shine a light on someone else, it dims your light. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. And I'm tired of people saying that or thinking that or believing that. And I want to show and be different. And
right.
That's my goal.
So when you say shine a light, you know, on other people, that's rare. I mean, to be honest, especially in the business that we both in the business.
Definitely.
When you're in the business that you're in, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it, but just shine a light on other people, that's rare, because sometimes when we shine a light on other people, people think, well, what's your ulterior motive? What are you trying to do?
Right.
Where are you coming from? What angle? Where did you get that from? Like, because you're rare. Where did that come from?
Well, it came from just being left out, you know, feeling like you everywhere, but you don't belong anywhere, and seeing other people go through that, like, you know, nobody reaches their hand back to help. People that are from here that have made it, that, you know, don't rarely. I see one big time person from here that made it, that's helping 4 other comedians, you know, and that's great. I'm happy for them, and it's all ladies, and they touring, and not one comedian is from here now, you know, and it doesn't have to be a comedian. It's so much talent on Indianapolis.
It is.
Indianapolis.
Right. I mean, it's like with Indianapolis, I think sometimes what you're saying, and I think sometimes we're scared of success.
Definitely.
We're scared of success, but I feel your heart. Like, I'm never going to be that big where I can't come back.
Correct.
And help my people.
Yes. Even now, you know, I hung out Friday night, trying to be supporting other comedians. A little cousin of mine had a party at a little bar, and when I sat down, you know, people was coming up to me like, "Oh, you still hanging with us peasants?" And I'm like, I'm never gonna change that. I ask God to, no matter what level He takes me to allow me to remain humble. You know, I've been through a lot, brother. You know, born with a handicap, hands and feet, being told I won't walk, I won't talk, I won't drive, I won't do the stuff that other people are able to do. And you know, God saw different, and so through that pain and hurt and disappointment, you know, I just tried to look at the glass half full, you know, instead of half empty. And I've hurt some, and that's why I ask God every day, like, Let the people remove those that don't mean me no good, and if I don't mean them any good, you know, change me, make me better than I was yesterday. And it's no ulterior motive, none of that. I'm just trying to find my way and help others find their way, because the only thing that drives out darkness is light.
All right.
That's it. And
wow,
you know, just going through that hurt, heartache, pain. You know, I don't know how far you want to go on this, but just going back to
listen.
Yeah,
So I want you to go, because everything you go through is positive.
Oh, definitely.
Everything that you, even your pain,
Definitely.
for you to be sitting right here, and for you to be doing, because we're going to talk about a lot of things you are doing right now, but for you to sit right here, you mentioned handicap.
Right.
Handicap. You want to be able to do what now?
Walk. Drive.
You walked up here.
Correct. You hear me?
So I don't know, but I don't know. You said dishes. I think I use that not to wash
right.
dishes.
I won't wash dishes.
I mean, like the doctor did say.
Correct.
I can't wash, but you know, Mama don't play that.
Right.
I know your Mama don't play that.
She didn't play that.
No, she didn't play that.
Still don't play that.
Right to this day, because this is the thing. Handicap. You used all of that. Because I heard you use that in your comedy.
Correct.
How do you do that?
Because I just feel like if you can't laugh at yourself, and it just shows growth, you know, and it helps with the healing, you know. Just putting it out there and talking about it and just shining a little bit of light on the things that, and everything I talk about in my comedy is a true story. I may tweak it a little bit, you know, change it up, take something out or put something in, but everything I talk about is a true story. So what it has done is help me deal with it, help me heal, help me think about, see things more clearly, quit holding grudges for the people that did hurt me or talk about me, or, you know, I've gone through molestation when I was younger and things like that, being mad at family and stuff are not helping me. But I was thinking to myself, you know, and talking to God, like, I can't be mad at them. They couldn't help me for something they didn't know, you know, and so I would never take it to them now, because I don't want to, you know, hurt anybody. I just want to heal and move on and help someone else. And it has helped me. Comedy has helped me overcome a lot of that. And I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. And that's kind of what makes me happy.
But I want to stop you, because I know you just said you're not where you want to be. But I believe, me personally, I believe you're right where you're supposed to be at. I believe you're right where you're supposed to be, because even in your pain, even through the molestation, even through your handicap, even through people turning their back on you, you have the ability to go up on stage, whether it's 10 people or 1,000 people. Like, who did you work with? You just worked with some big time comedians.
Yeah, correct.
Who was that?
Just here last year before the pandemic, I opened up for Lavelle Crawford.
Okay.
I've opened up for Rodney Perry before, and I just opened up for Tony Roberts down at the Helium. Shout out to Helium Comedy Club downtown.
Shout out to Helium.
Yep, I opened up last night for Mr. Chris Thomas. Opened up, and Drew Thomas was there. Great guys, great personalities, dope. They're very dope. Give you great advice, and they've been in the game a long time. So, you know, shout out to Ike Daniels over there and Ivory McDonald, and they're doing their thing. And it's, you know, Straight Up Stupid and Serenity Sundays, things like that. They having some dope stuff going on, bringing great artists to the city.
So wait a minute. You just name drop some people that are heavy in the game.
Right.
Cause see, even in being a comedian, sometimes you can feel like you overlooked. You feel like you overlooked. You feel like I got a story to tell too.
Right.
But I told you, I'm fascinated with consistency.
Right.
Even when you felt like giving up, even when you gave up, even when you said you done, but people were still calling you.
Yeah.
You still do comedy. You be like, all right, okay, let me do it one more time.
Yeah.
Let me just do it. I mean, we go through that. You be like, let me do it one more time.
Right.
After I get done, I'm done. Especially one of the toughest part, if you bomb that night.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you bomb that night, you sitting there like, and then what's crazy is even when you bomb sometimes, somebody still come up to you and say, oh, I enjoy what you say. Like, wait a minute.
Right.
That was not funny.
Yes. We are our worst critics.
Yeah, we are our worst. So your consistency, because you know sometimes we can get caught up like when you open up for somebody, oh, this is it.
Yeah, that's my chance. That's my chance.
I'm about to boom. I'm going out and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And then sometimes it's just like, whoop, go down.
Definitely.
but your consistency kept it. So, all that, things you struggled with, you use for fuel to tell your story.
Definitely.
To tell you, you know how awesome that is and how positive that is to be able that when you hold that mic, it's you. Because what you're doing as a comedian, being a comedian, you literally bringing people in to your life,
to my life,
until you can say, because you I know you do jokes about the handicap. You had a handicapped boyfriend, and who was gonna get the plate, and all that. That's to me, that's a signature joke. Like if anybody else says that joke, I already know, hey, that's Danise joke. Right. So you have signature jokes that you say, but this is what I love about you too. You have a great following, like your family. They show up. They show up in it don't matter. If it's only 20 people in there, 17 is your family or your friends.
Definitely, they will show up.
They will show up.
Right.
And I always try to tell people, especially being an artist, a lot of people want to go away and feel like you gotta go different places, and if that's what you want to do, you want to do. But if you can't get, me personally, if you can't get 10 people, at least 10 people to buy your tickets or come to your show, you need to continue to do open mics until you get it right. That's just, but when I look at you, I already know. I got tickets, I'm on this side of town, so you sell tickets. So she out there delivering tickets. So think about it. She is not, because we talked about consistency. She is not just a comedian, because when people say peasants, that's kind of like a sly little compliment.
Yeah, it is.
They try to say, oh, you too big. But that's still a compliment.
Yeah, I take it however it comes.
But you consistently have people supporting you.
Yes, I'm the ticket politician.
You're a ticket politician.
Show up, tell your joke, say your ticket. Boom.
So
pandemic over, I'm give hugs back there.
Yeah. So your people follow you. How did you get to that point where you have a following like that?
I don't know. I give everything to God.
Amen.
I am giving that's the only person that I can give it to, because mostly every city I go to, I have family or friends or somebody that used to live here. I mean, everywhere I go. I've never been somewhere that I haven't had people show up for me. And even, friends campaigning, one of my best friends, my PR person, shout out Candace Grady over in Dallas, Texas.
Shout out.
I mean, I did the Addison Improv over there, and she had my crowd packed up in one day, And so I appreciate them for showing up. And I mean, God has just continued to show up and show out and allow my family to. And they get on my nerves coming to me talking about, they ain't got no chicken, the drink wasn't good, they ain't put no liquor in their drink, and I'm trying to get on stage to be funny, and here they come.
Yeah,
But I love y'all.
But she loves you. She loves you.
Yes, I do.
Only on certain days, but
correct, Tuesdays.
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 So you get into that. You're from Indianapolis, right?
Correct. Born and raised.
50
years old. Shout out to the 50-year-olds. Look 30.
Yeah, look 30. Yeah, you don't look 50. What high school? I mean, because I got so excited I forgot some other stuff I meant to ask you.
Okay.
But what high school? Where?
So I started out private. I went to Cardinal Ritter.
Oh, okay.
A couple of years, and I just wanted to be a little ratchet. Yeah. I went from bougie to ratchet. That's why my new comedy brand, look out for it, Ratchet Comedy.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch on that.
So I started out at Cardinal Ritter, and went there to my sophomore year, and then my junior and senior year, I switched over to Manual Redskins, shout out.
Yeah, Southside.
Graduated from Manual 1988.
88.
I was 17 at the time.
So you was young graduating.
Yeah, I was young, 17, yeah. And then kept it moving. Went to college for a little bit downtown, Brown Mackie, tried to do my thing in communications and stuff like that, just trying to make it happen.
So, and all that is comedy. All that you talking about comedy. So you mentioned you started something new. What is it?
So Ratchet Comedy is bougie, a cross between bougie and ratchet. Whatever you want to pay, you pay how you weigh. You're going to get what you pay for. But what I wanted to be really is more so a comedy agency.
Oh, okay.
And my thought behind that is when people are calling for headshots, reels, clean clips, dirty clips, 3 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, I already have it readily accessible for these comedians.
Gotcha.
And then they can just call us and be like, here's the email, this is what we need, or they can email us and we can have that out there. But also to bring more work and awareness, because people don't always hear about stuff. It's stuff that I haven't heard about, or auditions and things that are outside of Indianapolis that we don't hear all the time, where no one's willing to share. So I want to have those available for them to have other opportunities, because they think, oh, you're stuck. You're not stuck. Ride a bike, trike, or automobile to wherever they want you at, not, because I'm going to show up.
Right.
And so I just want that to be good for upcoming and seasoned comedians and whatever their needs are, to be able to do that. And I've started hiring comedians already. A couple of them went to Gary for me a couple weeks ago when I was triple booked.
Wow.
And now this weekend I'm doing a virtual comedy show for a family on Zoom, and so I hired a couple more comedians. And then I'm gonna be doing Tickle Me Thursdays over at Spotlight Andy. Check them out over there, State Road 37 off of Allisonville Road. I'm gonna start that. The first night will be May 13th. We're gonna have some vendors. Of course, our DJ, 3 comedians, 3 or 4 I'm gonna be hosting. And we're gonna make it do what it do. A food truck will be outside and we're gonna make this happen. I think a lot of people sleep on Naptown because Naptown sleeps on Naptown. Yeah. And so we're gonna try to make a difference.
So, and I know you went from, as far as your LLC, what you're doing, to the Tickle Me Thursday, but just stop. Let's go back.
Okay.
So you empowering other people.
Definitely.
That's beyond. I'm just gonna use the word positive, but you empowering other people by you giving them a platform.
Correct.
And putting them in position.
Correct.
To be seen.
Yeah. Because people think if you help somebody, like, I can't help them. If they do, they're gonna do better than me. And I think it's preposterous. I reached out to somebody about doing voiceovers. And they was like, you gotta do the work, you gotta do the research, you gotta do this. And I respect that, and I'm willing to put in the work. Just lead me in the right direction, and they wouldn't even do that for me. Which I'm still like, whatever God got for me is for me, so fine, that's fine. But I'm still out here rooting you on, little lady, and I'm still out here cheering you on, but I'm still gonna be over here in my lane doing my thing, waiting for my turn. And I had never mentioned it to my little cousin. He's doing great things over in Atlanta. He's a singer, a writer, and he's working for some people like on Love and Hip Hop, some people, stuff like that. And he reached out to me last week and he said, are you interested in doing voiceovers?
Wow.
And so I had never mentioned this to him. And I said, I see you working, Father, so whatever, I just want people to understand helping somebody else is not gonna hurt you or hinder you at all. And that's what I'm out here trying to do. I don't want nothing from nobody. I ain't trying to get nothing from nobody. I tell you what I got. If I got this amount to pay you, you are welcome to say yes or no. And I'm glad God finally put me in a position that I can say yes or no. So
by you helping people, you helping you.
Correct.
So it's like a two-edged sword. You helping people, but you helping you. Because like you said, when you come in the business of entertainment, acting, whatever, it's kind of like, it's so political where people, if they don't necessarily, you could be the funniest one, you can be the most talented one, but they won't choose you because they don't like you, or they heard something about you,
definitely.
or they heard something. And what's crazy is, big as you are to me in this city, there's still ears that have not heard you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you would go somewhere and they'd be like, I ain't never heard of you. Where you from? You from Indianapolis?
Yeah, lady asked me that last night.
Yeah.
But the flip side of it is my name is in some rooms that I ain't never entered yet. So I'm happy with that. And to be able, and the funny part of you saying that, when I opened up for the live band, again, shout out to the Tony Bryan Project. I opened up for them last week. And people was like, they never seen me. And so they was excited. And this is rooms I've never been in before. The thing I did last night, I had a big following last night, but 80% of the crowd, I had never seen them before.
Right, yeah.
So it's funny you touch base on that. And so, yes, I'm excited to see what happens next.
Because I tell people all the time, comedy is not a joke.
Definitely not.
It's not a,
no.
It's not a, because you continually evolving.
You know, it's a catch-22. Because that's what I had to say. You know, I told a family member of mine last week, I was like, I'm in a couple of movies. And they laughed. They chuckled. And I was like, I felt offended.
Yeah.
And so my other family was like, you a comedian, you can't take a joke. I said, I tell jokes. I'm not a joke. And that's what people fail to realize. Yeah. And then they, you know, on the flip side of that, people think you are supposed to be happy and go lucky and you'll never have no problems and you're supposed to be happy. But it doesn't work like that. We're real life people.
And we go through depression.
Yeah, you hear me?
We go through anxiety.
Yes.
Like people don't understand. Like, you know, you have people tell you all the time, I think I can get up and tell jokes. Okay, try it. Try it to people that don't know you.
Yeah, correct.
See, when you with your family, people know your mannerisms. Yeah. Everybody, I tell people, you only good in your own neighborhood.
You hear me? They think you funny.
They think you funny. Yeah. But when you gotta go, like, you'd have been to Dallas, right?
Correct.
What are some other places you'd have been?
So I've done Dallas, Milwaukee. I haven't done Ohio yet. Kentucky a lot. Of course, Fort Wayne, South Bend, Gary, all those places.
So,
like that.
And you from
Chicago.
And you from Indianapolis. So these people don't know you because I mean, unless you've been on Comedy Central or Comedy View, a lot like they looking at you like, who is Danise?
Right.
And they looking at you, and especially black folks are gonna be like, you better make me laugh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They put pressure on you.
Yes, they do.
They put pressure on you, like you better make me laugh, or they come up after the show. Well, my cousin just as funny as you.
I know, right?
Right. Bring your cousin on to the show.
Right. No, this how they looking at you for COVID because they don't want to be there long from the first time. So they looking at you like, I ain't here to see you. So if you ain't making us laugh, then cut.
Right.
I mean, and it's they done giving it to us rough. But hey, you gotta show up and show up.
But you're not funny. You're hilarious.
Thank you.
Because funny is but you're hilarious. Where I say when people can quote your jokes and say it out, that lets you know you've been an impact on life. But I'm sorry, I'm stuck on you empowering people. Like, whoever listening, if you're a comedian, we're gonna have our information on here. Right. Or if you're any type of artist, you don't have to be in Indianapolis. It can be anywhere. You get information, and you can send her, and she's gonna sit down and talk to you and give you information on how she can help you.
Yeah, that's right. If you play the guitar with your left foot, your big toe, little toe, pinky toe, we gonna get you in there. We're gonna put you on stage.
So then you decided, okay, I got this. Now let me do Tickle Me Thursday on Thursdays, right?
Right.
Everybody is doing like comedy night on some night. What makes sure it's different than the next man? Why should I come to yours?
You should come to mine because we're in a great environment.
Gotcha.
I ain't gonna say it's bulletproof, but we're gonna try to make it bulletproof. But just because we're putting people on that want to do what they want to do, not shunning anybody, not trying to get over on nobody, and just trying to shine the light on the next person and let people outside of Indianapolis know that we got some real positive, because they keep hearing we done made it to CNN about shootings, killings, police violence, people dying at each other's hands, dying over stimulus checks and this and that. But we ain't making the news for the great positive stuff, and I want to make a difference. I want them to hear that, oh, okay, you ain't only got to move to Atlanta or Dallas or LA to make it. You don't. And so we got it. We got it right here. We're going to have our own stuff.
And so they come in, you have different comedians. Is it every Thursday?
It's going to be once a month on Thursdays.
Yes, okay.
The first one is May 13th.
May 13th is the first one.
13th.
And so you're doing it once a month.
Right.
And you have local and national comedians as well?
Well, I'm going to try to start out local.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. The bank ain't proved me for the big stuff. I'm working on food stamp status right now. But
you would take sponsors. You will take people that maybe believe in what you, because you never know. May be somebody say, I want to give you $10,000, and that's, it could be way more, but they can say to bring in so and so and so and so.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
God already blessed me, which I'm I'm taking applications for new sponsors, and we're gonna do this positive thing, and we're gonna start giving back. It's a whole. Everything else is gonna come as part of this. Is having a charity and giving back to the community and Christmas programs. But shout out to my sponsor, my very first sponsor, Sweet Deals Furniture at 52nd and Keystone. Y'all go over there and check them out, and check me out on the billboard coming soon near you.
So you grind on every level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people stop at being a comedian. Right. That's all they want to do. Right. But you said it's more to it than this.
Yes.
Like, how long you been in comedy? How long you been doing comedy?
This is my 11th year.
So it's been 11 years. Yes. You are been doing stuff for 11 years where most people are like, this ain't for me.
I'm gonna tell you, I wanted to quit so many times, and two things that I saw, or two people that I saw that had been in the game longer than I thought. Sitting at home during COVID teaches you a lot. You see movies you ain't never seen and stuff like that. And I saw that Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish had been in a game way back when. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Tiffany weighed 2 pounds in this one movie that I saw. And it just inspired me that you have to keep going. And one of these platforms is gonna be your launch, And so if it ain't for me, if it's supposed to be, and so that was part of my problem, coming up and getting through all this. That I was thinking, and my perception was that what God meant for this was really for this, and that was what I believed. But really, the purpose was for something totally different, or someone totally different. So even if it ain't me, if I become behind the scenes, and not in front of the camera, then okay. But to know that you were a part of that, and to know that you help someone else along the way, made me feel better.
So I'm speechless in a way. The reason why I'm speechless is because I love to talk, but I'm speechless because I see the progression.
Thank you.
I see the progression as you, not as a comedian, not as an actor, not as a mom, not as a grandmother. I see your progression as a person.
Yes.
And when we progress as a person, I think everything else falls in line. It falls in line.
Definitely.
Because I see the joy on your face when I mention you helping other people. I can see that you already see the people that you helping. Yeah. Like, you already got ideas. Like, when you came up with everything, you already had the idea. Bratchet, right? It's
correct. Yes.
When you came up with that, you already had an idea. These are the people who want to help. The ones that's been neglected, because I've been neglected. Yes. The one that's been talked about, because I've been talked about. Right. The one that's been discouraged, because I've been discouraged. But I'm going to be one that's in your corner to say, you can do it.
Right, and stand behind you with a bullhorn and say, you got this. To motivate you, to encourage you. Because people don't believe in that no more, and it's crazy how you don't. You have to encourage someone. We all need that. Yeah. We all need that. My favorite saying is, you may not always be dealt a winning hand, but you always able to win with the hand you dealt. It's on according how you do it.
And that's before you get off stage. That's what you say.
Yes, definitely.
Before you get off stage, you always say that. Definitely. So even though you got people cracking up, laughing, you always give in the positive, because you don't give, but you deposit in them that what you just said. So moving, you're doing that. Out of all the things you've been through, an older person, younger person, going to be watching this, whether they see it in 2021 or if they see it in 2026. Right. Look in that camera and talk to the people. Share your heart of who Danise is. However you want, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen with them.
I just want people to know, people counted me out. They didn't believe in me. But as long as you can count, and as long as you believe in yourself, you can make it. And believe me, they watching. And I want everybody to know it's room enough on stage out here for all of us. We can all connect, help each other. And we got to raise these kids up. Times have changed. These kids are watching. We got to be good examples. My grandson, it was a very tough lesson that he learned. He got hit in the basketball game, and he was crying. The other little boy got hit. He wasn't crying. They took my grandson out the game. They didn't take the other little boy out. And he didn't understand that, Grammy. So I said, well, sometimes we just have to show our strength and we have to keep going. So that next night, I didn't do very well on a comedy show. And I told him, he said, how did your show go, Grammy? He's 10. I said, at the time he was 10, he's 11. And I said, Grammy didn't do so good. I said, but I'm not going to give up, right? And he was like, no. I said, I have to keep going, right? I have to show my strong side, right? And he said, yes. I said, you know how much Grammy has been talked about, ridiculed, and teased, and left out, and this and that. I said, but sometimes we got to just go harder than everybody else. Just like their schoolwork. My other grandson has a hard time, with his schoolwork. And I told him, sometimes we just got to study a little bit harder, read a little bit more, and do a little bit extra just so we can be just as good as everybody else, if not better. But don't give up. And so that's really who I'm out here doing it for, because they watching and they depending on me, and I want to make them proud. So it is what it is. And I'm here to help out, If you want to be part of this, my door is always open, and I don't have no discrepancies against nobody. Like I said, if you want to play the guitar with your toe, I don't care. We got it. Right. We gonna get you in the door, and this is what we're gonna make it happen. And I want us all to come together, because it's a lot to be done. Our community needs help. It's kids out here that are hungry and things like that, and people that are going through things.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Because we have taken a lot of journeys together.
Yes.
And even in taking the journey, sometimes we went other ways, but we back here.
Get back, right back in the circle.
You know what I mean? And
I keep going back to the slumber party.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah. That's how I met my wife.
Yes, that's right.
I actually, through Danise is how I met my wife.
We did a gig.
Ebony and I.
Yes, I called my brother for a gig.
And now,
yes. Called my other friend for a gig. We had a slumber party, and they've been together ever since. You hear me?
Yeah, and so that's amazing. That's right.
Yes.
You have a big part to play in my life. And so, but I brought you on here because I'm fascinated with your consistency. You're a positive person. You're doing positive things.
Yes, trying.
And ain't no trying. You are. Don't. You are.
Okay, thank you.
You are.
I'm gonna take that.
And you're doing it on a positive platform. Listen to me. I hope you watch this whole video, this podcast of what we're doing, because I want you to understand, this podcast is not just to be another podcast. Our podcast is to introduce you to positive people who are doing positive things on a positive platform. This is my sister, my comrade, my buddy in the comedy game, someone that I'm super proud of and honored to know. You just been introduced to Danise, the comedian, the entrepreneur, the actress, all these things that she did not allow her handicap, her past, or any other situation to stop her from doing what God wants her to do. Right. That's why she's winning. It's the reason why she's on the Your Winning podcast, because she's a winner. And I want you to know, if you didn't hear anything out of her, she just taught you how to win. And I want you to know, as Donald FOSHO Martin, as your host, you're winning. See you next episode.